This is in the Daily Beast. Was it today? I don't have the date on it. So Kamala Harris, and now this is huge because you know that the potential for Kamala to be running for president of 2020 is huge. They're prepping her for it. They're introducing her to people. She's probably going to run in 2020. So Kamala Harris now says she won't accept corporate PAC money. Oh my gosh. Well, why did you ever accept it to begin with? My word. My word. So I don't know. Okay, I'm going to save my comments for the end somewhat. Senator Kamala Harris joined a cadre of her progressive Democratic colleagues Monday by saying that she will not accept corporate PAC money. Quote, I did a town hall a couple of weeks ago in California, and I was asked that question, Harris told host Charlemagne the God. And I wasn't expecting the question I thought about it afterwards. And I'm going to tell you, Charlemagne, I think that money has had such an outside influence on politicians, and especially with the Supreme Court determining Citizens United, which basically means that big corporations can spend unlimited amounts of money influence a campaign, right? Is that what it means? Is that what, that's what Citizens United means? I don't think anybody's been talking about that. I don't think anybody's been talking about getting money out of politics, but thank you, Kamala. Thank you for that. Wow, right? Question mark, right? Is that what it means? I don't know. I don't know if any of my policies have been influenced by corporations or big banks ever, says Kamala. Back to the article. We're all supposed to have an equal vote, but money has now really tipped the balance between an individual having equal power and an election to a corporation. So I've actually made a decision since I had that conversation that I'm not going to accept corporate PAC checks. Well, I don't know how she's going to survive them because she's accepted a hell of a lot of them in the past. Harris, often mentioned as a potential candidate for president in 2020, joins Senator Cory Booker, Elizabeth Warren, Kristen Gillibrand, and Bernie Sanders in this pledge. At a town hall in California this month, Harris was asked by an audience member, Byrne, if she would turn down money offered to her from a corporation or a corporate lobbyist. I'm so glad that question was asked. At a town hall in California this month, yes, I said that, Harris said, well, it depends. It depends. Prompting the audience member to quickly respond, wrong answer. Thank you. Thank you. And she goes on to say, well, that's not the answer you want to hear. It doesn't make it wrong. I appreciate the reason that you're asking, and I do appreciate it, Harris told the audience, and that's why we have rules that require that any donation that anyone receives needs to be disclosed. Okay. So, I mean, well, I'm not going to say that's not progress for her to say that she won't accept corporate PAC money. I'm just going to say that let's just look at her track record real quick and ask the question, do you want her to be the president of the country based on what she has done in the past? Because that's really how you judge anyone, isn't it? By what they've done. Of course, we can forgive and forget, and that's human nature. But when you're in a position of power like she is, we shouldn't forget what she's done, especially if she would be running for president in 2020. So when Kamala Harris was the Attorney General for California, she never prosecuted bankers. Very strange, very strange. Now, this is from The Intercept. Kamala Harris fails to explain why she didn't prosecute Steve Mnuchin. If you didn't hear about this, which I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't, because this is not in corporate media. And I just know so many people who love Kamala. And when I tell them about this, they've never heard about this. So it's very important to know. And if you're gonna act like this doesn't matter, then we're not going to see any changes in this country. It should never be the lesser of two evils, and it should never be, well, politicians are a little corrupt. Well, that's the kind of thought that got us where we are today. And if anybody thinks where we are today is a good place, whew, I beg to differ. From The Intercept, again, Kamala Harris fails to explain why she didn't prosecute Steve Mnuchin. This is just little pieces of that article. Prosecutors found over 1,000 violations of foreclosure laws by his bank. During that time, predicted further investigation could uncover as many as thousands more. Okay, 1,000 violations of foreclosure laws, and they said if they had pursued it and had a full investigation into it, they predicted they would find thousands more. Foreclosure laws. So basically, it was taking homes away from American citizens illegally, not following the rules. Homes away from elderly people, single mothers, low-income families, all the people that Kamala Harris would want to protect, correct? Right? The citizens. Well, he did something against the citizens, something very, very bad. You would think that Kamala Harris would want to make sure that he was prosecuted and paid for his actions. It's not really how it turned out. But the investigation was closed after Harris's office declined to file a civil enforcement action against the bank. Kamala Harris, her office declined to file a civil enforcement action against the bank. Why would she do that? As an attorney general of California who is there to protect the citizens, when this man, this bank, kicked thousands of people out of their homes illegally, why wouldn't she prosecute that? Why is it? Because it turns out that, and maybe I'm wrong, but that bank was one of her donors. That bank was one of her donors. The bank she was supposed to prosecute, Steve Mnuchin's bank, she was supposed to prosecute for foreclosing illegally on thousands of families. That bank was one of her donors. I wonder if that's why she didn't prosecute Steve Mnuchin in that bank. Do we want this person to be our president? No matter what she says now. Don't fall into the trap. You got to look at what they've done before you can decide if they're going to work for the people of this country. Later, Steve Mnuchin donated large sums of money to Republicans, including Donald Trump. He donated only to one Democrat. Yes, Kamala Harris. He donated only to one Democrat, that was Kamala Harris. Come on! Please, 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 please. Don't buy what they're selling you. You can make anybody look good. People can, pretty packages, pretty words, running for president. Yay! Come on, please. Would you want to vote for someone who did this? Would you? When she was asked the question, why didn't she prosecute Steve Mnuchin? She just wouldn't answer. There was never an answer why. Never an answer. That is very telling, wouldn't you say?